What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Today is Sunday, so we are going to go ahead and look at some of the statues that have gone up for pre-order in the last week or two. Missed last Sunday, but there's a few I definitely wanted to talk to you guys about. Now, I'm here on Sideshow Collectibles website. They have a bunch of random stuff. I don't know why they're selling half these things, to be honest. But we did get Iron Studios showing off the 1/10 scale Black Widow stuff. So I gotta say, I do like this. I think it looks really good for like a standalone Black Widow. I think it's probably the best 1/10 Black Widow I've seen. I think the likeness is definitely very good, especially better than my Black Widow Endgame from the Vormir scene. I think this is far superior. I like the hair, the outfit, the double batons, the base. I think this is really nice. They did make it sort of like a diorama where you have the Red Guardian and then her sister and then Taskmaster. See, it's 8 inches tall. So would I buy this? Maybe. I'm considering it. I do like it. I wouldn't buy the sister. I wouldn't buy Taskmaster. I'd only get Scarlet just because I love her. Although I gotta be honest, the movie was about a 7 out of 10 for me. And it just felt out of place. You know, because we already know she's dead, and I wish they would have released that movie after Civil War. It would have been a lot better back then. Then we got PCS Pumpkinhead. So this is priced at $1,250. Comes out June of next year. So decent timeline, better than what Prime 1's doing. They're doing like end of next year to 2023. PCS does seem to have better production, way better than years ago. Now, to be honest, I do not like that exclusive portrait at all. I hate that, but I love the regular portrait. Now, I am not a Pumpkinhead enthusiast. I only saw the movie about 6 months ago for the first time, and it's hard to watch the older horror movies, to be honest. Unless you grew up with it, it really is difficult. Now, I do think the creature looks cool. You know, it's 27 inches tall. The base looks pretty cool. I think it's a cool statue. I'm just not a huge Pumpkinhead fan. I thought the movie was okay. I probably just need to rewatch it because I have found that these older movies, you have to watch them a few times to enjoy them. Just because, I don't know, like Legend, I didn't really like it the first time. The second time I actually loved it. So I really just need to go back and rewatch Pumpkinhead. Now, I wouldn't buy this even if I loved the movie because it's 1/4 scale and I'm not doing 1/4 scale. Even if this is a large statue, it would have to be 1/3 for me to buy it, because horror, I am only doing life size and 1/3 and 1/10. But for this, it'd have to be a 1/3 if I was to ever consider buying it. So it's very nice, and congrats to all those who did pre-order it. Still a great looking statue, just not for me. You can see the others. It's Yelena, Red Guardian. They both look nice, and I'm sure if you're a huge fan of the movie, definitely great pickups. Taskmaster. We have some Mandalorian 1/10 scales. They all look pretty nice, but nothing to brag home about. There's one Prime 1 product I wanted to show you guys. So they have the Superman vs. Doomsday. I don't really care for that. I'm not into comics, so I don't even really bother looking at those things, to be honest. I'm only, movie is my focus. So we have the Night King from Game of Thrones. Now, you know I own the Khaleesi, and I have a Khaleesi custom silicone bust. But this scene was probably one of the coolest scenes in the entire movie. When they were fighting tons of the, Night Walkers, and they're, Jon Snow was basically trying to recruit the people, and the Night King came, and it was just such an epic scene. I really liked it, and so I'm glad they chose this scene choice. I think it's very fitting. He's at the end of the deck, and then he just rose the dead to join his army, basically. Now, this comes in 2 versions. You have the standard version, which is just the Night King. Then you have the ultimate with basically detachable base that you would just add to the back part. And it's quite a bit more expensive with that. It does add a bit more depth, not a ton. It obviously looks better with the ultimate, having the 2 additional, walkers next to him. I do think the overall statue looks awesome. The detail and paint app is on point. These guys look awesome with their blue eyes. So, I mean, overall, I think it's an absolutely amazing statue, no doubt. The one thing I don't like is that price tag. Look at that, $1,900 plus shipping. This is over $2,000 for. I mean, you're getting 3/1/4 scales, but I mean, you would never buy those walkers on their own ever. So, do you really want to pay an extra $900 for them? You can buy the regular version, which is $1,000 of the Night King, and it just doesn't include them. I do like they gave you that option. It is substantially cheaper, and I think if I was to ever buy this, I might just do the regular. Just, it's a lot of money to get those 2 extra guys, and yes, it is better, but I don't know about an extra $1,000 better. So, as of right now, I'm not planning on ordering this. I am resisting, just because I want to stick purely to Khaleesi for Game of Thrones, because she was the main highlight of the show for me. Yes, it is the best show ever created for me, but Khaleesi was my highlight and the thing I loved most. I do like the Night King. I like Jon Snow, and I know they have the Jon Snow on throne, but I don't plan to buy it. I don't have space, and I'm not trying to build an entire Game of Thrones line. I just wanted my Khaleesi's, which I do got. So I'm happy with Khaleesi. Next and last statue I wanted to show you guys is JND Suicide Squad Harley Quinn statue. Now, when they were first showing this off, it did intrigue me. Now, I haven't been the biggest fan of JND for a few reasons. So here's the overall statue. So I'm going to start with the pros and then the cons. So pro, the body looks perfect. It's sexy. I like the pose. It looks like Margot Robbie's body, and it just looks overall amazing. So that's the pro. Obviously, it's silicone. It's very detailed. They have a specific factory they use, so it's gonna be, great. But it definitely absolutely fantastic. The base, I'm not a fan of. I'm not digging it. Just broken glass and bullets. Very simplistic. I know they're trying to keep this all like museum style, very simplistic. And this works for a lot of collectors. A lot of collectors like this. I personally don't. I am not a fan of just a square base with a nameplate and a few little things on it. I am much bigger fan of like Prime 1 style bases, like, much more elaborate, like a diorama, much more to it. It's not just a simple square. So the body, 10 out of 10. The base, for me, it's like a 5 out of 10 base. But for this type of statue, there is one thing that is just the most important thing, and that is the portrait. Now, I showed my wife this, and the very first thing she said is, doesn't look like her. Now, I agree, some angles it looks like her. This particular angle, it does not look like her. I think it's a miss on the portrait. The hair looks good. The paint app looks good. It's something about the sculpt, something about the teeth. Now, I know they're using like real dentures or they put like a denture in her, and I'm just not digging it. I've seen acrylic teeth done in the past, and I think that looks much better than them actually inserting like an entire mouth into her. This angle looks a little bit better for likeness, but the straight on is when it's just like, that likeness isn't really good. And I've shown this picture to a lot of people, and pretty much every one of them are like, yeah, that doesn't really look like her. If you look at actual pictures of Margot Robbie, it's definitely off. I think Infinity Studios' life-size silicone bust has much better likeness, and overall is the ultimate Harley Quinn piece. I think this is overall a great piece. It's priced at like $2,500 with shipping for US. You have to go through a retailer to get it, can't buy it direct. So it's very expensive. I don't think it's worth $2,500. I really don't. I think it's too simplistic, and I had the Sideshow 1/4, which had a body that I swear looked just about as good. It's mixed media, better. I mean, the base, I wouldn't say it's better. It's not that great of a base. But yeah, I'm just not digging this JND too much. I have no interest to buy it, to be honest. I can't even find JND's website. I had to go to this weird Hyperbeast website. But I mean, congrats if you bought this, you know, and if you love it. We're not all going to love this statue. Some people might think this has perfect likeness. That's great for you. For me, I just don't see it. You know, where other pieces that some people say looks nothing like them, I see the likeness. So, you know, beauty is an eye of the beholder. For me personally, I do think it's a miss, and I wouldn't spend $2,500 for a 1/3 scale statue where the likeness wasn't perfect. I think their Arthur Fleck was very, very good. I think their Joker's great, not perfect. The Selena Kyle is definitely better than the Catwoman for likeness, but that one, something was off about that one. I wasn't a fan of the body and the pose. You know, I think Queen Studios Catwoman is far superior. Now, here's the thing about silicone 1/3. I don't want to get into that game. I want to stick to polystone. I don't mind real hair on 1/3 like my Pennywise has real hair, but I don't feel this amount of detail is necessary on such a small piece. You know, this is like 26 inches tall. I feel a half scale is where you'd want to get that silicone at. You know, half scale and life size, because then you can truly appreciate it a lot better. Like the Queen Studios Aquaman, it's silicone, it looks fantastic. You know, and then obviously all the life-size busts out there. When something is life-size, you're able to really appreciate like the tiny pores, the glass eyes a lot better, and, you know, just all the detail. So I'm going to stick to really just life-size for silicone. I'm not looking to get the 1/3. The only way I would purchase a JND would be a Black Widow. Simply because we don't have a 1/3 Black Widow. If they could nail the likeness, even if it's a boring base and pose, I would still buy it just because I love Black Widow. I did not get their, you know, Wonder Woman or anything, because I'm getting Queen Wonder Woman bust, and I'm getting Infinity Studios Harley bust, so I don't have a need to get any of these 1/3s they're making. If they do some actual characters I want, I may consider it, but I still, for the most part, think I'll be staying away from J&D. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents, folks. But if you pre-ordered this and you love it, congrats. I hope it becomes an ultimate grill for you. Anyways, folks, that is this week's previews. Tomorrow we will do the unboxing review of Annabelle, and then we should be getting in Wolverine bust, Caesar bust, and we'll see from there. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit that like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and hit that bell notification to get notified of all my videos. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.